This is my first look at the Michigan 2023 schedule, and I got to say that I don't know that I can get started on the bashing soon enough. As soon as I've got 15 minutes to produce a video,
It's not good.
East
Uh,
Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green.
hmm
Look, man. Hey, look, guys.
We
There's
talked about this kind of before this,
just
once we
nothing
got
got.
going, I'm like,
Yeah.
next year's the same thing. I mean,
It's not.
if you
I don't
win, it
know.
doesn't, if you win, it doesn't matter. Like now,
You
you
know
know what I
what?
mean? At this point, that, because the out of conference wasn't great this year, but it's like, hey, you're undefeated, all
Yeah, you
good.
guys are
Look.
right. They're Michigan. They'll win the Big Ten title and go to the playoff. Why should they schedule anyone? If they scheduled
Uh,
somebody good, then they might lose a game non-conference, and that might knock them out of the playoff. So why do it? That's why these schools
well,
should
apparently
not be
not.
scheduling themselves.
Well,
That's
apparently
Uh,
that's
not. I
why it should
mean,
be
you
taken
can.
out of their hands.
Yeah. Well, Ohio State. Still got in, and they didn't win the Big Ten, so I guess it doesn't matter. If you just automatically win a conference, just saying. Um,
Well,
I mean,
that
look, guys, there's
typically
nothing I can do
helps.
about.
There's a conclusion you can basically draw from winning a conference and your probability of going to the playoff.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying it's not. Look, but there's nothing I could do about the schedule, and like that would be something that will be talked about absolutely throughout the upcoming year, because I'll be lying, and I think other fans will be lying too if you are entertained. Say that you're entertained by those, as Antoine likes to say, cupcake games earlier in the year. They're not entertaining. They're not. I find them very boring. I mean, pretty much by halftime, I'm like, I don't want to watch the rest of this. And that's me being a fan of the team. So it's like, it's kind of a catch 22, I guess, because you don't want to be in a situation where you schedule it and you lose, and it maybe derails uh your season because it puts you in a situation where you can't drop another one.
hmm
But at the same time, from a fan standpoint, from a entertainment value standpoint, no, it's not very fun with that kind of schedule. Especially like imagine if Michigan goes all the way and wins the national title. I'm sure the rest of the country would love to see the defending national champs play on the big stage earlier in the year. I mean, think about Georgia. They won a championship last year, and they started off with it looked to be pretty good test to start the year at Oregon. Now they rolled Oregon, but that was a national title, national defending national champions starting off their first game of the year on national TV playing against a top 10 ranked team. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of eyes, at least in the first quarter. So, um, there's definitely an entertainment value that is lost with that kind of schedule.
Yeah, like I said, it just kind of is what it is. I think, well, my hope is once you get to, once we expand the playoff, is that these coaches and programs stop playing it so safe with the out of conference. Because I mean, what essentially, like you said, what benefit do I get? Let's say is Michigan. Let's say for Michigan, what benefit would I get if I have the ability to schedule, let's just say Clemson, right? So to schedule Clemson, right? First game of the year. What benefit do I get if I lose? Because from there, I have to go what 11 straight. I have to win out. If I don't, I'm out. I'm done.
In this current platform, in this current format, 14 playoff, yeah, and that would be that could be, it can also go the opposite. Well, that could be a benefit of the playoff format expanding because maybe schools won't be as scared to have a potential
hmm
loss,
Yeah,
and yeah,
because my schedule, I would assume strength of schedule comes into play, but nonetheless,
for
right?
sure.
It for that Michigan Clemson game, you actually do get a benefit because even if you lose, well, I had a great strength of schedule, and I only dropped one game in the Big Ten, which at that point you'd probably be playing for the conference. But let's say you don't, it's like, well, listen, man, like I had, one of the toughest games scheduled, like that, out of conference. I think it would benefit. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping that is one of the byproducts of expanding the playoffs. So